What is dangerous to forget? What you are allergic to. There was a guy on Reddit that said though he was allergic to shellfish, he loved it. Said he used to take Benadryl before he'd have any. That stopped helping after a while. So he'd just bring his EpiPen when he went out for crab. Haven't heard any more from him in quite a while. That the beautiful wild animal is still a wild animal. Whether or not you took your meds for the day. Cleaning out your dry vents regularly. If they become completely blocked, it can lead to a house fire. To turn off gas stove. That the handle of the frying pan you stuck in the oven will be violently hot if you don't use an oven mitt to pull it out. Or if you forget the handle is still hot after pulling the pan out and walking away for 10 minutes. Mute and turn off the camera when you are done interviewing. Unsubscribe before free trial ends. That you're driving. OSHT. That you had something in the oven. Do not put water on a grease fire. Do not put water on a grease fire. Asterisk. It will make the fire grow. If you have a grease fire, place a metal lid or flat pan over the source of the fire to deprive it of oxygen. Turn off the heat source. If you can't do a lid, pour baking soda on it. Edit. Also salt and damp dish towels, from commenters. Under the right circumstances, electricity can kill you instantly. And unless you're an electrician, you probably don't know what the right circumstances are. Installing a carbon monoxide detector. That you shouldn't just mix whatever cleaning supplies you have available. Some of it can form a deadly gas and kill you ASAP. Keeping good dental hygiene. When the warning label on something reads inflammable, it means that it's highly flammable. It will burn easily, not otherwise. Flammable and inflammable are synonyms. This is a primary example of the stupidity of the English language. Your parachute. You don't need a parachute to skydive, you just need a parachute to skydive twice. The face of your father. That never ends well. That you're not wearing the pants with the keys but went to the store in your joggers for like once in your life, because you were hungover. Because then when you get back and stand outside your door like a proper fool, you realize that your phone is still in your apartment as well. Not that it would matter too much since your flatmate would sleep through a civil war and probably won't wake up for hours. That you're not immune to propaganda. History. That rights aren't granted to us by the government but are supposed to be insured through them. Stop, drop, and roll. Most people learn this in kindergarten. Then don't retain the info and end up running when they catch on fire, making everything much worse. Which pedal is the go pedal and which is the stop? Your baby is in the backseat of the car. The amount of parents who forget their kids are still in the car after they lock it and roll their windows up is honestly horrifying. Especially here in Florida. Cars turn into ovens and will practically fry your infant child inside out. I can't even handle driving with the windows down with no AC. I couldn't imagine what it's like for a small infant who's still strapped in to be sweating and crying for someone to get them out. I couldn't imagine the physical pain of coming back and your child isn't moving and is in a pool of sweat. Nuclear launch codes. In the 50s 80s the code was 0, 0, 0, 0. To be humble. That putting a croissant in the microwave for 20 minutes has a different effect than it being in an oven for 20 minutes. Edit. Thanks stranger for this Aussie Toasty at Home award. I laughed so hard I farted. Edit 2. For everyone asking why I put a croissant in the microwave. In my country the microwave and oven can be the same machine. I was making fresh croissants from French pastry. I set the time and then accidentally moved the wheel to microwave instead of oven. The new toilet paper roll when you go for a shitty in your house. Alone. Don't invade Russia in the winter. My birthday. My birthday. That the gun is loaded. You should always treat it like it is loaded. Your wedding anniversary. Your girlfriend's birthday. No problem if no GF. That behind the usernames are actual living people on the other side of the screen. I can't believe how toxic people, even myself, can be. Would we say things like that to strangers IRL? No? Then don't do online either. That these olives are not pitted. There is always a shark behind you. It might be thousands of miles away, but there is one behind you at all times. That it's possible to die the next minute. Well, isn't that just grey? Pick up the kids from school. Stranger danger. It's a term used to keep kids aware of the dangers seemingly well-meaning people can pose. But the warning should extend into adulthood as well. There are con artists and murderers out there preying on our hope that there's an intrinsic good nature in every human being. Be aware. Be safe. It's good to be a helpful person. But look out for warning signs that there's a con or bad motive coming from the stranger in front of you. That history repeats itself. How to breathe. I once forgot how to breathe. That bleach and ammonia make a poisonous gas that can destroy your lungs. A towel. Who you are and your self-worth. Traffic. People walk out into traffic without a care in the world. After all, they haven't been hit yet. And don't they have the right of way anyway? Hoodies up. Earbuds in. And heads down they walk without a care in the world. Horns blast and tires howl. But nothing deters our determined pedestrian. Onward he goes. Oblivious to the world around him. After all, it's not his problem. That peaceful civilization doesn't exist in a vacuum, and it's the responsibility of all its citizens to actively maintain the peace. That you have nudes on of your ex on that hard drive you just lent to your GF. Edit. Of. Not on. On makes it sounds like you're about to revenge PRN her. A lovely quote from the Providence of Fire. Asterisk. Bakers have flour. Fishermen have nets. That you're driving and not daydreaming on the sofa. Forget what? Taking your birth control. When you pick up a firearm, there is a chance that you can die. Even if you are absolutely sure the gun is unloaded. Don't do stupid stuff with it. Even though the animal is cute, it may still be fully capable of killing you. Do not try to pet wild animals. To turn of the heater in summer. GTA SAR codes. DR. When you're at a party getting drunk and having fun. What the powerhouse of the cell is. MITOCHONDRIA. That you should always. No. Wait. Never. Or is it always? Dot. Oh. Name of lovemaking in progress partner. Holocaust. One if not the most terrible thing in the last 200 years, and people are playing it down, speaking of it as if nothing happened. Never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line. That the risk of infection by COVID in public places continues to exist, in fact increases, after lockdown is relaxed. That the United States has many things that make it a great country, but none of them should be taken for granted, because those same things can turn against us if we believe they are a given. That you are not irreplaceable at work. Way too many people think that they can't be replaced at work. And way too many managers higher ups think that they can't replace a person. So when that person does TTY and abusive behavior, it is excused because what would we do without them? You ain't Jesus or Mary Poppins. You can be switched out for someone who treats others better. Your girlfriend's birthday. I don't know if it's universal, but didn't go well for me. How recent civil rights and full suffrage are. This summer is the centennial of the ratification of the 19th Amendment. And people born when the Civil Rights Act was passed, 1964, aren't even old enough to retire. We can't take these things for granted. ETA, Also equal opportunity for people with disabilities, IDEA and ADA, and gay marriage. The fight for trans rights is ongoing. That everyone, no matter the color of their skin, is a person and has rights. The Alamo. Karen's birthday. Your so's name at the wedding. That the US is rapidly progressing towards fascism and that your ancestors needed to take drastic measures to resist authoritarianism. Just a worried Canadian here. Hoping you guys make it out of these few years okay. And that we border a nation which still fundamentally values the right things in 10 years. That the stove stays hot after you turn it off. Kim Jong-un's name when you are in North Korea. That there are real people behind the Reddit usernames. Exclamation point. Oof. It's been a while since I virtue signaled this hard. That racism is still an issue. Gasoline is never a good fire starter. That Reddit, like all social media, is full of people talking out their ass and have a hive mind mentality. I've met too many people who think that Reddit is an intellectual social media compared to Facebook, Twitter, X. Think of a subject you know a lot about. You have formal schooling and year of experience in. Now think of that time you saw a comment with a stupid amount of upvotes and awards that was factually wrong. No amount of cited sources will convince people in that thread otherwise. How to love. That society is fragile. What do you need a gun for? The police will protect you. There is no need to own a AR-15. We are civilized. Forgetting year and drive instead of reverse. Kneeling on a person's neck is against the training all forms of law enforcement security are trained. Dying forgetting to delete browser history. HR is not on your side. They are there to protect the company, not help you. Nothing is ever deleted and nothing is truly anonymous. If you don't want it read to your friends or your enemies, don't write it. Everyone is a suspect to a cop. Don't answer any questions from them without a lawyer even if they are super friendly. Dread. Villains looks like normal people. Rapists. Murderers. Thieves. Don't judge a book by its cover in either a bad or a good way. People act according to their motivations. Business are motivated by profit. No matter how much you may think it. They do not care about you. A product is only as safe as the regulations that govern it. That Epstein did not kill himself and there's a ring of pedophiles and rapists among which are people at the highest level. Also, police brutality and the systematic oppression. That looting is not acceptable behavior. George Floyd. That the piece of equipment you are working on is still dangerous even with how familiar you are with it. Adam Savage had a video the other week about how he nearly lost a finger that day because he got complacent while performing maintenance.